Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Master RKO, and I am back with another Mastering Black Ops 3. Today, we're going to be looking at a map that a lot of people, you're either on one side or you're on the other side.
Search and destroy.
There are a lot of people who don't like this map. It's very small. I don't know, it gives you,
Neutralize the objective.
it just gives you that feeling that you're cramped in. A lot of people compare it to like Hijacked, but I think Hijacked was even bigger than this. So I mean, it's pretty tiny to say the least. Now we're here on Search and Destroy, and because I thought I'd go back to doing these in Search and Destroy again. We did the dominations a couple times, but I'm a Search and Destroy kind of person. Once I get done prestiging and doing Master Prestige, I tend to play, like, if I'm just playing to chill out, I usually play Search and Destroy the most. If I'm grinding, then I'll play Domination or Hardpoint or Ranked or whatever. But I figured we'd go back to Search and Destroy for this. So, with that being said, here we are. And like I said before, this map is, you either really like it or you really hate it. I personally like it. This is one of my favorite maps of the game. It's tiny. You got some good, like, pinch places that you can shut people down, and it's just a bunch of fun. So we'll go ahead and get into this map, and then we'll get to a couple other tips that I want to give you guys for this map before we're done. Now, as you can see on my gun, I do have a silencer and everything. That's not usually how I play. It's just for video stuff, because guns can be very loud. I also have dead silence on, and kind of like what I would run if I was playing Search and Destroy. So first off, there's a dom point right here. Everyone knows that you can use this barrel as cover because this area right in front of us is going to be one of the biggest areas of the map. So we're going to go ahead and touch on that now. So for those people who are just tuning into the game or the video, as soon as you get in, we're going to go ahead and talk about this. So this spot right here is a very, very big spot on this map. It's a big place to control the whole entire game. There's a dom point in the middle right here. There's a hard point that's there. There's a hard point that's in there as well. You can also see up into there. You can hop up here to check that. But that's not the only spot. I use this in domination all the time. And the reason is because C-Dom is right there and they spawn all the way in the back. So if you're spawning on this side, which would be, I believe it's A side for domination, I usually just come over here and run. Usually you'll catch a couple people and you'll be down. So by the time you get here, this is all the farther you want to go. This is it. You don't want to go any farther unless you're wanting to flip spawns. This right here, like I say, like this right here is my cutoff line. I do not go past this spot. I don't go there or anywhere. But the reason this is a big pinch spot is because you cover 3 areas for them to come out. And if you're a good enough player, you can cover all 3 of them and just pretty much kill whore, basically. Because you're stopping them from getting into B, you're forcing them to go all the way around, and you're forcing them to make a play on you before they can make a play on anybody else. So what I do is you can go here. This is a good head glitch spot. You can kind of pop up and down. If you really want to just hold down left trigger and not move anywhere, you can just pop up and down here. You can see where people are funneling through. It's a good spawn camp spot. Now what I'll do is I'll kind of check this, make sure no one's here. I'll check this because you can see if they're running through. So if you're playing a ranked match or you're playing with people who are communicating, you can already see there's no one here. And there's no one coming through mid, and you can tell them, hey, they're running towards the other side. I don't really have callouts for this, but you can kind of communicate to them. So you can see, so right here and here, you can already have a lot of map control. And then if you suspect someone coming up here, you can hop up there, shoot them, and come back down here again. So you kind of get into a motion of this, kind of like bam, nothing, bam, nothing, bam, nothing. And you kind of get into that motion, and then eventually you just get into a rhythm. And you can get a lot of kills. I've dropped 50 and 60 kills a game and ranked up to where I'm at, because I've already prestiged within a week just by doing these. And you can just continuously, bam, up, hey, there's some people, got it, reload, up, okay, they're running through there, we're fine, come up here. You can even hop up here if you want to, because it doesn't stop the spawns. I just kind of hop up here and don't cross this line. Just hop up here, watch them funnel through. You can kind of catch them off of the stairs. Pop back down. And this is a big pinch spot. So after that, we're going to go ahead and do a little wall run. This is a very popular spot in the game. You can kind of fall off if you don't watch yourself. So you got to watch it. But another thing that I actually wanted to touch on is the out of bounds areas on this map. Now, like some maps, like say Nuketown, there are some spots on the map that if you fall off, you can get back up. This is one of them. You can actually drop down here for 2 seconds and pop back up. I think it's like 3 seconds. So you can fall all the way down,
the battle, but the war goes on.
or make that mistake and completely die.
Switching sides.
But that first part of the rock you can actually fall down on. So just to make sure that you're using this to your full advantage. Sometimes what happens is you'll be kind of running through here, and you'll get into a gunfight, and you might be getting hit, and there's nowhere. Like, if you get caught in a gunfight out here, you're just in no man's land. Like, they're probably watching you, they're watching you, you're just stuck. You can actually just go ahead and drop down here, and then hop back up. I've won a couple gunfights just because I've done it on accident. I'll come off the wall and land down here, and people will think I'm gone. I'll just hop up and start killing people, and they don't even recognize that you're still alive. So make sure, if you're in a gunfight and you notice that people are coming after you, and I'll kind of show you again, you can actually 180 on these walls too, in case you didn't know. You can actually just hop down here immediately and then pop up. And you can do it continuously too if you don't mind hearing the warning sounds over and over again. So you can just kind of hop up and do that. So speaking of the wall run that I pretty much died on, we'll go ahead and move on to the other side. This is not as big of a pinch spot. Usually people will not sit here. They're going to sit over there if they sit anywhere. So this is just kind of no man's land. You'll get shot from the top if you kind of chill here. So there's really nothing on this side of this. Like, you can maybe hold off, but not very many people run this way. They usually run the other direction. So the only place that you're really going to catch people camping is going to be here watching this, here, or back in these corners waiting for people to come out. The only other spot that's really campable, which is very, very campy, is laying down right here, because you can see people as soon as they make that jump. You can see them just do that. But the problem is, I'm blocked. I can't move. Like, you can hear me. I can't move sideways. Now I can. So, like, you gotta have the right angle on it, because once you get too far to the side, you're prone blocked. But you can just kind of watch people funnel through and shoot them. So that's a big camp spot. So if you see your teammates dying a lot, check this spot. There's also a spot on the other side that's kind of similar. It's on top of the Humvee, which I'll show you when we get back to the other side. But you'll also see people camping here, obviously. And then you come back to the other spawn. And now I'll show you a way to hold down this side, because there's a way to hold on the other side. So here's a way to hold down this side for respawns. So I kind of run this house. And by running this house, I literally mean I run this house. I will run in here. Usually I'll come in on this side, and I'll kind of do like this to make sure no one's coming back through there. I'll kind of watch, and then I'll hop in here. Usually there's someone in the window. You can see people filtering out, and then I'll kind of like check this again, make sure no one's following me. Then because this is blocking me, you can kind of run upstairs and catch people there, and then watch as people funnel back through. Watch that door again. Watch back through here, and it's just a good way to get kills in a respawn. And a lot of people might consider it camping, but you're really just holding down objectives, because you're keeping them from B, you're holding down a good spot, and you're right in their spawn. So they should be able to kill you easily. They should just be able to come after you and destroy you. But if you have enough awareness, you can kind of just hold down this whole entire back area. If you want to mix it up, if you think they're catching on to you, you can pop out here, catch a couple of them, then they'll send people. So as soon as they send people, you have to watch that, and then come back through and watch this, and you'll usually always catch people here. But this is a very good spot if you're playing domination to run through here and catch someone capturing B. They'll usually capture B in a couple spots right through there. You can also blow that up, but we'll do that later. So anyways, as you come back here, this whole back area is just kind of rocks. So, I mean, of course, you can use all of them as lines of sight. They don't really work too well, because usually if you're using them as a line of sight, your whole side's exposed. You can, of course, use these. That bomb's usually not there. And, of course, as you come over to this side, you have this long hallway, which there's a big, like, long-distance fight that usually happens, which I never take part in, because people just use these. Instead, I don't give them time. I just hop on this wall and run around, because then you can kind of catch them off guard. You can even catch that wall and take them out. So usually what I'll do if I know someone's camping there is you can even start here if you want to. You can hop up. Actually, is this wall runnable? Yeah, it is. Wait, is that whole wall runnable? It might be. Nope. All right. So I've never tried that, but usually what I'll do is I'll just start here. I'll just burst through. Start here. They'll come flying out, pop up on here, and you can just kind of aim down sight and run all the way to here. If I'm not doing that, then usually I will hop up on here and then kind of just land. I don't think you can curve around that like you can some walls. No, you can't. I was going to say if you could curve around that, that would be almost broken. But usually I will save a little bit of boost to kind of do a wall jump, because that's a good way to catch people off guard. You can jump off here and then hop up. And then usually there'll be people sitting here. Like I've seen a lot of people laying down here because it's like the edge of the hard point. So they'll lay here, or they'll camp back here, and you can kind of catch them off guard, get them with the wall run. Keep in mind they are going to be watching you, so you got to be accurate with those. But you can do the same thing on the other side. Hop up, but at least on this side you're covered by this rock. So if you're coming off of that, you can just kind of burst out and over top, and using your boost is very effective. And that's what I'm starting to see on some of these games that I'm playing, is that a lot of people aren't using boosts to their ability that they could. I know playing Advanced Warfare, I'm used to jumping around and boost jumping all the time. But there's a lot of times, like if there's someone here, you don't want to fight that, especially with the sub. Like if you have a sniper or an AR and you're fighting from back there, that's fine. But if you're coming up here with a sub, you're going to lose that fight. You're not going to have the accuracy. You're not going to be able to fire over that. Like most players just aren't going to be able to do it. So instead of just coming up here and doing one of these, or, you know, being cheeky and sliding around here and trying to do it because they're going to see you, you can literally just hop up and over and just follow them, which is where the new controllers, or like scuff controllers or pro controllers, really come in handy. Because if you're not, like I'm going to try to do it using my A button. Like if I do that, I got to boost, then you got to go back to your stick, unless you play claw. If you play claw, I feel sorry for you, but if you play claw, you can kind of do it. Like I just tried to claw, and that's what mine looked like. But if you like try to do it and then go back, it's already too late. But if you have a decent controller, or like the new Xbox controllers, I think have paddles on them now, so everyone will probably be getting them soon. You can kind of boost, jump, look, and then just aim, and usually you'll end up killing them by the time you aim. So using your boost jump is a very big thing on this map. There's a lot of small engagements that you can pop out, aim, and kill people on. Speaking of hold spots that we've been doing, this is another hold spot. You can kind of hold back here, just with this cover as is. I don't do that. I tend to use this because then you have double the cover, because not only does that block off, but you also have that little extra on this side that you can peek back, because if you're here and they overrun you, you can only come here and you're kind of screwed. With this, if they overrun that area and you're not getting it, you can kind of slide back and then catch them as they're running out to get you, because they're going to be running through here. So you just slide back and you're here already, so they're going to be running this way and you can just kind of follow. As we move back towards the last spawn, this is a major hard point. This is the very first hard point after the middle, so this is a crucial hard point. Middle hard points are always just scrapping for points, seeing how many people can get in here. But the very next hard point is always huge, because that's going to be where a team is going to be able to hold it down. So of course you can kind of use this as cover, but keep in mind you can shoot through that. So don't think that just because you're behind this, but also the thing about it is you can shoot through it. So you can kind of hold back here, let someone call out if you want to. A lot of people use this corner. Don't really see anybody in this corner because you can't really get back into it because it's curved, so you kind of stick out a little bit. Same thing with this corner. But like you'll see people chilling here. Someone's always usually laying down here because you can peek that. But this hard point is very, very big. So like I said, when you're running, say your team doesn't have the hard point and they're coming up, a big thing that I do, I don't rush the hard point. I'll come over here. And I'll just watch people funnel through, kind of hold this off, and then go in. Because then you can kind of pick people off that way. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and head back to mid. Well, before we do that, we'll go ahead and show an obvious wall running spot. For those of you who may be new to the game, you can wall run on this to get to the other side. You can wall run and aim if you want to. You can hit that. You can land on that if you want to. But mid is a giant cluster. That's all this mid space is. It looks free. It looks open. It looks like, oh, there's plenty of room for activities. There's not. It's a cluster. It's literally this. It is someone sitting here holding this, which is why using the window is always a good strategy. There's always this person here. There might even be someone like near the bush that you can't get into for some reason, but you can apparently jump over it. But there's always someone here. There's usually someone on this side of the truck or this side of the truck. Can't really shoot underneath it. There's always someone underneath aiming it this way, because they'll never aim this way. And that's because they'll always have someone in this corner or this corner. 9 times out of 10, because they're not looking this way, they're looking this way. So the person in this corner usually going to be looking this way towards the window, might be looking up top, might be helping the person underneath because you can kind of see, but they're usually going to be looking this way. This person is going to be watching behind them if they have someone here. So when you're doing that wall run, which you can make, I don't really see a lot of people using this anymore. You can make that wall run. So if you're in mid and say there's someone using that camp spot, but you still want to use the wall run to kind of throw them off, you can kind of hop here and then go after them. Just keep in mind that your boost will be limited. So if that's possible, and I kind of did that on purpose because I've done that a lot. So if you're using that, you want to make sure that you're using full boost, or at least use afterburner. It'll give you a little bit more, because I don't think I have afterburner on this class. No, I don't. So you'll want afterburner for that. But that is actually going to do it. That's the last tip. That's the whole entire map in a nutshell. It's really small. I tend to like it. I tend to do pretty well on it. There's like a few wall running spots you can kind of catch people off guard in, but other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory, the map itself. There's a few strategies you can use, but just before we leave, I do want to talk about something else, because we talked about domination before, so I want to mention this at the end, because there's a lot of games that I've been playing have been domination, just been grinding domination and hardpoint a lot. So a lot of those things is like position based, and there's a lot of games that we could have won if we didn't do certain stuff, and there's a lot of games that we should have won but gave up. The main thing that I want to talk about in this is spawn flipping. Now, I know in the last video I talked about spawn flipping and how you can use it to your advantage, and how like on a map like Breach you can literally just spawn flip the whole entire time. As long as you're ahead, as long as you have control of B, you can spawn flip till your little heart's content. On a map like this, though, it's so small that when you try to spawn flip, all you're going to do is spawn flip to the other side, and it's going to actually kind of ruin everything. There was a game, and I'm going to give a little bit of scenario, that I was doing my strategy. I would run over here, hold this down, do that little thing that I showed you guys earlier, hopping up here. But teammates would sprint in there, they would sprint through the doorway, they'd sprint around, and then they would spawn flip. So then by the time we spawn, we'd flip to this other side. Then I have to run all the way to the other side to try to hold them off, and by the time I got over here, my team was spawn flipping again, so he wasn't really doing anything. And my kills started dropping, my deaths started rising, and we were losing by a lot. And I just kind of told a whole team of 6, I was like, guys, stop spawn flipping, we can win this. And they kind of listened to me. Because here's all you need to do. This is a domination tip, and I didn't know if I was going to throw this in at the end, but I feel like it needs said for those of you who may be new to domination or having troubles with it. And I might even make this a full video at some point for just domination. Just create a line. Create a complete line. All you need is someone here watching this, someone that can watch that doorway, and someone that can watch this. That's 3 people. Your team has 6 people. So if you only need 3 people to watch 3 spots, where are your other 3 people? They should not be rushing into a base. If you have the 2 cap, if you have this capped and that capped, they're going to have to sprint around. So your other 3 people are your rotators. You're going to have one person here watching B, probably one person here watching B, and you're going to have one person either in the window or up here. Guess what they're doing? Watching B. If you have 3 people who can cover all of the exits, and usually that's not the case on every map, but I'm just using this as an example, your other players should be doing something else. You can't have people running here, sprinting into spawn, I'm capping C, and A's getting capped, especially when you're losing. If you're losing, that's not going to work. If you're losing, if you need a 3 cap, you have to keep people back no matter what, and you have to have your best killers run in, do the whole like whoa, and kill everybody and cap themselves and keep that spawn cap, because then what they're going to do is, because they're spawned out, they're probably going to spawn somewhere like here. That's when you bring your people up here and you have your B caps and you get them spawn trapped. That's it. That's all you do. That's literally all you've got to do. Same thing for the other side. It's literally the same thing. Someone here, someone there, someone like maybe back here. You literally don't need to push. You can just sit with a 2 cap. You'll win every single game. There's no need to 3 cap in this game. There really isn't. Unless you're losing and you have to 3 cap. There's no other reason to do it. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to do it for me. Hit that like button if you like this video. Leave a comment if there's any map that you want to see or any tips that you would like game mode wise. Map wise, gun wise, or anything. As you can see, I've been using the BMP. You can see I have the, you can't really see the RKO, you see the R, but I got the fade on there, which looks pretty cool. But yeah, if you need any tips or tricks, leave that in the comments. If you like this video, click that like button. And if you want to see more videos of this, or like this, and you want to be notified whenever that happens, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, back in the old series, I used to find a way to kill myself at the end of maps. So I think we're going to end this one with a bang. So ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. I am Master RKO, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.